Welcome back, book voyagers. Today, we're setting sail on one of the most iconic and ambitious journeys in American literature, Moby-Dick, or The Whale, by Herman Melville. Get ready for madness, metaphors, monomania, and yes, whales. This is not just a book, it's a sea. Let's dive in. The story kicks off with one of the most famous openings in literature. Call me Ishmael. A narrator is a wandering soul who signs onto a whaling ship called the Pequod. But this isn't just a job, it's the beginning of a metaphysical odyssey across the oceans of the world and the oceans of the human soul. At the centre of this voyage is Captain Ahab, a man driven, utterly possessed by a single obsession to hunt and kill the great white whale Moby-Dick, who once took his leg. Ahab is Shakespearean in scope, charismatic, terrifying, brilliant, broken. He doesn't want justice, he wants cosmic revenge against the whale, against nature, against God. But Moby-Dick isn't just about Ahab and the whale. It's about everything, really. The book swings from gripping narrative to essays on whale anatomy, the politics of whaling, the metaphysics of whiteness, and full-on philosophical rants. It's science, it's poetry, it's madness, and it's genius. Thematically, Moby-Dick explores obsession, fate, free will, the limits of knowledge, and the violence of nature. But it's also about how small and strange and holy human life can feel against the backdrop of the infinite sea. Ishmael, our narrator, is constantly reflecting, observing, and interpreting. He's not just along for the ride, he's trying to understand the ride. Let's talk tone. Melville shifts gears constantly. One chapter reads like a sermon, the next like a baroom joke, the next like a fever dream. There's tragedy, there's absurdity, there's beauty. He weaves in references from the Bible, Shakespeare, ancient myths, and scientific treatises. The language is rich, complex, and sometimes downright overwhelming, but it rewards those who stick with it. And the characters. Oh man, the characters. There's Queequeg, the tattooed harpooner with his own brand of wisdom and dignity. There's Starbuck, the first mate, rational, moral, and totally at odds with Ahab's madness. There's Stubb and Flask, the other mates, who add both levity and insight. Each character is symbolic, but also deeply human. Now, what about the whale? Moby-Dick is not just an animal, he's an idea, a god, a monster, a mystery. He represents everything unknowable and uncontrollable in the universe. Ahab sees him as evil incarnate. But Ishmael, he's not so sure. That ambiguity, that refusal to explain or resolve, is part of what makes this novel so powerful. So should you read it? Moby-Dick is not a beach read. It demands your attention. It challenges you. Some chapters feel like wandering into a storm of ideas with no map. But if you give yourself to it, if you let the language wash over you, it will stay with you forever. It's one of those books that changes every time you read it, and changes you right back. This isn't just a story about a whale, it's about the human condition, our desire to control what we can't understand, and our search for meaning in a chaotic world. That's it for today's review. If you faced the white whale yourself, let me know what you thought. What did Moby-Dick mean to you? And if you haven't read it yet, maybe it's time to set sail. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more journeys through literature's stormiest seas. Until next time, steady on.